President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's New Year's speech and budget has triggered conversations around Nigeria. People's Democratic Party (PDP) criticized President Bola Tinubu's 2024 budget as a harvest of deceit, false claims, and empty promises. PDP also described Tinubu's New Year address as unpresidential, uninspiring, and a waste of valuable time. It said the president's speech did not address any of the critical issues plaguing the country. In a statement by PDP National Publicity Secretary Ologbodiyan, the party said Nigerians were dismayed as Tinubu took to rhetoric and failed to address the critical issues of insecurity, decayed infrastructure, comatose manufacturing and productive sectors, crushing 28% inflation rate, continuing plunge of the naira, unemployment, poverty, and economic hardship occasioned by the reckless, ill-advised, and insensitive policies and programs of his administration. Joining us to discuss the PDP stance on the federal government's 2024 budget is Kola Ologbodiyan, former PDP National Publicity Secretary. Good morning and welcome to the morning show.
Good morning, Ayo. Good morning, Dr. Abati. Dr. Abati, it looks like you have added priesthood assignments to your vocation. You are now forgiving sins, and you now forgive sins and award penances also. Rufi, good morning to you. Thank you very much. Good morning, Nigerians.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank you for joining us. No, but the point I was making was that if you look at those legacy projects by Femi Gbajabiamila, they appear very impressive. And we hear about politicians who go into government who have opportunities and they do nothing for their communities. And he has been very consistent in giving back to his community in Surulere. And now he has even gone beyond his community, is, contributing to Lagos at large. When people do good things, let us at least note that they have done something. But let's talk about the PDP. Yesterday we had the Chief Segun Oshoba on this program. And one of the topics we discussed with him was opposition politics. This morning we've discussed the same thing about the opposition. And his point was that, look, what do people expect PDP to say about the budget or about the president? After all, they are in the opposition. But he then qualified it. He said, look, it's not that opposition is not good. The opposition, according to him, is very important, opposition politics. But that opposition should not just be abusive. When you criticize as an opposition party or opposition member, you offer alternatives, you offer ideas, you raise issues. But to just come and say the president is full of deceit, he's just being rhetorical, his speech is just insensitive, as the PDP has been saying through Ologbodiyan. So, and we seem to think also that there will be greater quality in the public space if the opposition focuses more on ideas, alternatives, recommendations. What do you say to that?
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Abati. With due respect to the elder statesman and our own leader in journalism, Chief Olusegun Oshoba, I do not think that all that the PDP does is to just go abusive. Well, I might have some level of disagreement with him on this very topical matter. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been a member of the APC. Even Chief Olusegun Oshoba has been a member of the APC. In all the years of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration, with all the criticisms and the alternative voices that the PDP and other notable opposition leaders provided, which they have even started now, because I was reading the front page of This Day this morning, and I discovered that my boss has started advising Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu to restructure the security of the country. You will agree with me, Dr. Abati, that the issue of security architecture of Nigeria, the fact that it has become comatose, has become a sing-song in the People's Democratic Party. Have they agreed to do anything in respect of that? The answer is no. The challenge we have in this country is that once we get into government, you forget the other side. The voice on the other side hardly matters any longer. And that is what we need to address. That is the advice that Chief Osoba needs to give to his friend, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that look, listen to what is being said on the other flank. So it's not okay to just come and dismiss the opposition and say they're not providing advice. The ones that they have provided, either, because I do not think that if we are going to be honest with ourselves in this country, that we should separate the Asiwaju presidency from Buhari's presidency. No, I do not subscribe to that. I know that for purpose and intent, that the Asiwaju presidency is struggling to extricate itself from the Buhari presidency. But they are tied, and they are one. And after all, Asiwaju, when he became president, did say that it's going to be a continuum, that governance is continuum, and that it's going to follow the path of President Buhari. So they cannot now come and separate themselves from it. Hasn't the PDP been speaking to the issue of corruption and governance, either under Buhari or under Asiwaju leadership? What have they done about it? We are seeing tokenism. Oh, they have picked the SPIA guy. Oh, Sajia is going to EFCC. These are tokenisms. If the Asiwaju presidency is serious, it should confront the challenges. That's what we are saying. That's what the PDP is saying. So it is not enough, Dr. Abati, to say that, oh, opposition politics, PDP is abusive, PDP is this, PDP is that. They are not providing the alternative voice. The alternative voices they have been providing since 2015 till today. What has those in government, what has the APC governance, what have they done about it? Nothing.
Okay, we hear you. Beyond the New Year message, which you described as uninspiring and unpresidential, by the way, the APC spokesperson has responded, saying that perhaps the PDP had difficulty in understanding what the president was trying to say, and went further to break it down that it was sensitive. That was Mr. Felix Morka. You also criticized the budget and the signing of the budget and said that it wasn't anything to take Nigerians out of poverty. And in fact, you had advised the National Assembly prior to the passing of the budget that they ought to reject it in its entirety. Now that it's been passed, we're looking forward now. What would you have done differently? Because as Dr. Abati had mentioned, opposition, it goes beyond criticism. It's also providing an alternative. What are the criticisms? What are the line items that you'd have changed? Perhaps the 12% allocated to the military or to defense. Education saw quite a good uplift in this budget. We had the 100 billion naira to the school feeding program, which the president said was quite impressive, and also higher spendings on capital projects as opposed to recurrent projects. Many would say that this is better than what we've seen in previous years, especially during the PDP administration years. What would you say about this?
I don't agree with you, Ayo. First and foremost, let's start off from the point of allocation to the MDAs. And I draw from a practical example. And I remember that under President Jonathan administration, President Jonathan, I heard between I cannot be precise about the year, but this will be between 2011 and 2015. I can't be precise about the timing. And I remember, because I was then in office with Senator David Mark, and there was a move by President Goodluck Jonathan to slash the take-home of political appointees by half. And I remember that President Goodluck Jonathan was particular about the National Assembly. And I remember then that the budget of the National Assembly was around, I think it was around 120 billion or so. And President Goodluck Jonathan insisted that the budget be reduced to between 95 and 105. I can't be precise also. And this was actualized. This was done. Post-2015, what did we witness? An increase. Post-2015, what did we witness? An increase in the same budget. And that budget has continued to increase. Ayo, anybody who is going to preside over this country, and I remember that we were very clear about that in the People's Democratic Party, and is not going to touch the cost of governance, is not just ready. Because to be honest, we cannot afford this system of government as a people until we agree to that truth. Until we agree to that truth, we ain't going anywhere. So it's not enough to say that, oh, this look different. When you go to the issue of budgeting 100 billion for feeding of students, the question that Nigerians have been asking, where are those students? Where are they doing the feeding? Who are those responsible? Where is it happening? So most of this budget process, Ayo, they are audio. That's just the truth. It's audio budgeting and audio implementation. So you cannot be saying that, oh, you budget a particular amount for defense, you budget a particular amount for education, but you now go to National Assembly in a multiplying order and make a budget. I think we should be honest with ourselves on the budgeting. We should be honest with ourselves.
Okay. So we must also put in the fact that because of inflation rate and all of that and Forex, the numbers are considerably different from what it used to be before. So I'd like to go on as regards, the questions are asked, and we want specific things. Currently, the National Assembly, for instance, the budget is over 300 billion, up from 165. How much would you have allocated to education, health, and other key sectors of the economy? Does your political party have their own sort of like mock deferring budgets? Because you see, let's come to the era of empirical opposition. Does your political party have a defined statement where they have their own mock budgets, as government release their own budgets and all that, what you will have spent on education, health, and all of that? And secondly, has your party bureau read the budget line item? Have you, as a spokesperson, okay, you're no longer a spokesperson. As speaking for the PD, have you, your party bureau, studied budget line item by line item by line item, over close to 3,000 line items? What would you have appropriated?
Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you very much, Rufai. First and foremost, I start from the issue of whether the party has sat down to look at the budget on line by line item. You quickly corrected yourself by saying that I'm not a member of the National Working Committee, and that falls within the purview of the National Working Committee. But if the party came out with a position on the budget, certainly, as a working committee, they must have sat down to review the budget. But having said that, what would PDP have done differently? First and foremost also, if the PDP had been declared the winner, because it's about declaration now, if the PDP had been declared the winner of the presidential election last February, we would not have the economic situation that we have today. I have listened to people say that, oh, all the presidential candidates, except Kwakwanso, said that they were going to take out subsidy. So it will have been the same thing. That's not correct. One of the challenges we have in the country today is that in our profession, we no longer do what is called tie back when we write our stories. Because we don't do tie back when we write stories. And because we are a recorder of history in a hurry, people get away with what they say. And people get away with all kinds of things. And people come back and say, and rewrite, conduct hagiography, and rewrite stories, and rewrite history. Article did say that there were 4 levels of subsidy removal. And that before they left government, 2 levels had been done. And he told Nigerians that yes, he will remove subsidy, but it will be staggered. You will not compare that with the presidential candidate of the APC who was declared the winner, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who without even studying a file in the handing over note, who was, before he even assumed office, as he did his swearing in, he declared publicly subsidy was gone for good. Okay.
Mr. Ologbodiyan, we don't have time. We just have only 2 minutes. Let's talk about line by line empiricals. Because I don't want any nebulous talk this year. Let's talk about line by line. What will you spend on education, health, and let's facts. Let's be talking like facts on the table. What would your party have spent on XYZ amount and those things? Yeah.
Rufai.
Yes.
Rufai. You provided the answer yourself. I do not speak for the party. I am not the official spokesman.
So when is your party going to
release?
Okay, so when is your party going to release it? Because your party just can't keep releasing statements without having empiricals, line item to those statements. When is your party going to release their own mock budget?
I am very confident that if the party consider it imperative to release its own mock budget, it will do so within the shortest time possible.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Ologbodiyan. Bless you, sir.
Well, on that note, Kola Ologbodiyan, we wish you a very happy
Thank you, Dr. Abati.
New Year. Thank you very much for joining us.